welcome back. It is the Dani Dot Podcast. I hope you've had a chocolate-induced 4 days of Easter. I, however, have been gallivanting around Warbirds over Wanaka, a spectacular flight festival. Let's get into it. This podcast is going to be all about my favourite thing to talk about, aviation. So, how did I get into planes? I don't really know when I ever thought planes were magnificent. I will honestly tell you my first flight was in 99 and we went from Christchurch to Gold Coast for my uncle's wedding. It was nothing major. Where did my passion actually eventuate from? My mum will say that I have loved planes since we used to watch them from Christchurch Airport rooftop, or times that we would spend on the side of the actual airport itself where you could view planes. I have seen the Concorde. The Concorde came to New Zealand. I don't remember it too well. However, Mum says that's like a claim to fame in the aviation world. But I don't know. There was something weird about these big monsters that, you know, if you see something in the sky that doesn't quite look like it should be there, it's just interesting. And that's my whole perception of everything to do with aviation, is like, how does it even stay in the sky? Lucky for me, I have a fabulous best friend who is a pilot and he fills me in on all that type of stuff, and we do share the same passion for flights. So it's not a big deal, but I wouldn't say that I have, you know, come out of the womb and thought planes are amazing. It's definitely something that's grown over time, and it's just interesting. So for me to go to Warbirds was an experience. I wasn't really too fussed about the old rust buckets. I'm not going to lie. The ones that were, you know, from the 1930s or whatever, and how technology's evolved. It was more the noise, the understanding as to how these things stay in the sky. But I don't know. The whole weekend was just so super. And quite frankly, it almost didn't happen. It wasn't until the last couple of days where I sort of thought, shit, I've got to get tickets. It sold out. And I didn't say a word to anyone about anything. I was like, I'm going, it's fine, there'll be gate sales. Anyway, just on the cusp of last week, I got gifted a whole pile of tickets, 3-day passes to be quite frank. And it wasn't until the Friday where my mum actually piped up, because essentially I was just going to go on the Saturday or the Sunday completely by myself. Everything was fine. No, it changed. So Mum was like, at the end of the day, I don't want to miss seeing your excitement, so I'm definitely going to go. And I just thought this will be interesting. I don't know if Mum's too involved with planes. However, it turned out to be such a cool time, and I don't know, it's just something we enjoyed. But the actual day itself, we weren't rushing. It was the practice day. We drove over to Wanaka, which is something I don't do that often. So for me, it's exciting to leave the bubble of Cromwell. And just as you pass through Luggett, or Luget, as some people were calling it on the weekend, there's this steady incline up to Wanaka Airport. And I don't know what came over me. I'm not going to lie. Holy moly. Lo and behold, we get to the top of the hill. There's this stunning military helicopter, an NH90, just a favourite of mine. It has been for many, many moons. Those are the military helicopters with the doors that just swing open so that, you know, combat soldiers can fall out and jump out and everything else. Oh, there's just something so exciting. So I screamed. I don't know why. Oh dear. We missed the turn off for the car park, so we had to loop back around. But I say everything happens for a reason, and quite frankly, we got to drive back past all the aircraft, all lined up on the roadside. So I wouldn't say it was a negative. Mum almost ran at the back of someone though, and she says, "Don't scream, Dani, this is stupid." So anyway, we get into the grounds and I was like, okay, I've never done this before. I don't know where to go. Are we supposed to put our chairs down? Do we go for a wander? What's the gist? So we walked along all of the aircraft, talked to the pilots, had a bit of a photo opportunity with all these crazy aircraft that I hadn't seen up close. And I wasn't too fussed about all of that, to be quite fair, until I turned around and there was this giant Hercules. And I don't know, me and that plane have a fascination. I can't. And I was, not a word of a lie, climbing over the cargo net situated in the back of the plane. And this woman comes up out of nowhere and she says, I was walking behind you while you were looking at planes, and what is your fragrance? It's stunning. And I looked at Mum and I had tears in my eyes, you guys, tears. I was so thrilled to be in this Hercules, and this woman is trying to jump down my throat about my damn fragrance. And I just looked at her dead in the eye and I said, now is not the time. I was like, just what is happening? Why am I getting this sort of like question right now? I couldn't comprehend what was happening. I just looked at her and I said, oh, it's caramel and pistachio. It's an MCO Beauty dupe of a Sol de Janeiro. And I was still hanging off the cargo at this point. You can take the girl out of the plane, but you can't take the plane off a girl. But no, it was really, really random. And that's when we walked back along the fence line to the actual grounds themselves. And we just put our seats down. And I said, oh, I'll stay here. You go for a wander and go get something to eat or whatever. And we'll just wait to see what happens when this show starts. I'm understanding that obviously the planes are going to come over or whatever. I don't know. I've not done this. And these two guys sat either side of me and Mum, and they were just really lovely. I had this guy on the left who had really cool old man wisdom, is what I was saying. He had a lot of information that he could contribute to what we knew about planes already. And the guy to the right, he was wonderful. He actually owned a restaurant in the Hawke's Bay, and he had owned it for 20 plus years and never managed to get away on Easter weekend to come in and enjoy Warbirds until he sold it just last year. And he decided to take him, his son and his wife down to Wanaka, come to Warbirds. And his son wasn't into planes or flights or anything, so he stayed away, and so did his wife. And he thought he was going to Warbirds by himself. Well, sorry, not sorry. You're not alone in this, bro. We can hang out together. It wasn't until I was actually talking to the guy on my left about the special term that they call planes when they're situated and they're not moving around, and that's static. But he had said that word to me about 10 minutes prior, and I kind of cottoned on that it was a cool word to, say about the flights themselves. The planes were static. They weren't moving around. And I just said to him, what was that word you said that started with S? It was not like stagnant or anything. And the guy on my right, he just said static. And I went, oh my God, yeah, that's the word. And we started talking. And he was telling us about how his son wasn't interested in flights and how he hoped that, as his son got older, he would become more interested in it. But he has this passion, and I was like, that's me, I'm the same, rah-de-rah. This guy is not even that much older than me. So I was thinking that maybe his son was early, 7, 8, 9 years old. No, his son was 15. But yeah, we chilled out and sort of spotted planes for a couple of hours. It was freezing cold and there was nothing that was planned. So obviously, being a practice, it was up to whenever the planes wanted to come and do their practice run, that was when they could go. It wasn't like a timetable. So we didn't know what was coming. Which I absolutely recommend everyone goes to this thing on the Friday. It is a lot cheaper than the Saturday or the Sunday for that exact reason. You might miss out on seeing something just because it doesn't need to come from wherever around New Zealand to participate on the Friday. The Saturday and Sunday is more compulsory for their attendance. So it was really cool and just sort of, I was mucking around with this guy from the Aviation Museum who was telling us about the injector seats and how the last one was in 96 that was ejected out of a fighter jet. I did manage to sit in the seat and take a photo with the hat on, the wee helmet with the mic piece. I felt like I was a right fighter pilot. And I said, oh, this is about as close as I'm going to get to a jet. Because there's this weird understanding that they're quite secretive. Who would let me in a jet anyway, really? I'm 6'3", I wouldn't fit. So the whole day progressed just naturally, very calm and collected. It wasn't busy at all. And we managed to just eyes to the sky the whole day. And tracking the planes was really interesting as well because you got Mr. Enthusiast on the right who just, thought he was alone for the whole day but made friends with us. And Mr. Informative on my left who was, the last time this plane had come to this town was da-da-da-da-da. But also you had the commentary of the guys from 92 More FM in Queenstown here. So that was kind of fun because they just keep the conversation rolling. But everything was just so good. And it wasn't till the end of the day that I thought, oh, the F-16 fighter jets, they're not coming. They'll come on Saturday, Sunday. They're saving their petrol. They've come from Japan and South Korea with the help of a strato tanker fuel plane. And, there was all this information about everything. I won't deep dive on it right now because I'm worried about who's actually going to be listening to this plane podcast, to be quite honest. But yeah, so the end of the day happened. It was kind of this surreal thing that we had made friends and we didn't know if we were actually going to see each other again, because obviously the guy from my right was from Hawke's Bay in the North Island. The guy from my left is from 3 hours south down there in Invercargill and beyond. So I don't know, we sort of like stalled leaving, and the actual thingy finished at 4 o'clock and we were still standing there at 5:30, just talking, having a love for planes. And we finally dispersed, and I thought, this isn't going to, we're not going to have the F-16 fighter jets come past. We're going to go back to our cars and that'll be the end of it. No. My auntie rang whilst we were in the car park because she was flying from Christchurch to Gold Coast on Monday, and she wanted to confirm some things. She calls me her travel agent because I help her out with all this kind of stuff. And I was just yarning to her, and then all of a sudden I screamed. I opened the car door. The car was moving. I rolled out. Mum yelled out, "You've just had surgery." I said, "Oh my God." This F-16 came flying just straight down the car park, and this noise, it was just beautiful. I don't know why I have these reactions like I do when I see the jets. It's been that way forever, and I have followed Hornets, Growlers, F-16s, F-18s all across Australia to all the V8 supercars, things that they've been a part of. And now they're in New Zealand. It's just my reactions. I've got to get them under control, you guys. It's not normal. I've got to stop screaming. I don't know. It's excitement. Call it that. So on the Saturday, I didn't attend the Warbirds. I chilled out. I had some stuff I had to do, obviously back to digital life. And I don't know, I didn't feel like I missed out on anything, but my eyes were still on the sky the whole of Saturday over Cromwell because I was adamant we were going to have something appear. Nothing did. It was almost like there was this wall that just meant every plane had to go from Christchurch to Wanaka if they were like too large to land on the runway there in Wanaka, or they just did not come past Wanaka to go over Queenstown or Cromwell or whatever. And it was bothering me because, I mean, there's more people that wanted to go that couldn't for ticket reasons, but also like my brother was in Queenstown and he was just chilling on his balcony and he was like, one of them will come over. No, none of them did. So I knew that on Sunday I was going with a friend and we were calling it Sunday Fun Day. And they started to make me a little bit jumpy because of what happened on Saturday. There was this huge surge of people that went. It was like the first main day where there was like structure to the timetable, everything else. And I thought, I'll go to bed at like 10 o'clock and I'll get up at, 6 in the morning and I'll drive over. It'll be fine. I don't know what happened. The excitement got over me. I didn't go to bed until 1:45 in the morning and I was up at it was easily 5 a.m. I actually asked if 5:45 a.m. was too early to leave to go to Wanaka. I left anyway. I don't know why, but I panicked. I got to the car park by 6:15 and the parking warden said to me, "You're stuffed up because if you're the first one in this car park, you are definitely the last one to leave. So I hope you're in for the long haul." And I thought, oh yeah, so at least they're, talking to people as though people are going to be going to this. And it's not weird that it's just gone 6 a.m. and that people are arriving or whatever. It's just I was the first. So I didn't think anything of it. I was talking to the car parking ladies. They were lovely. And I don't know if it was the fact on Sunday I was wearing a puffer jacket and a backpack because I was by myself waiting for a friend, that no one saw that I had a chair over my shoulder, slung over my shoulder. So I get down to the actual grounds and I just walked in and it's 6:20. So I walk over to the actual where I thought general admission was, and I said to this lady, "Sorry, is this general admission?" And she says, no, this is where the cadets are warming up. I said, oh, God, if I stay here too long, you guys, I'm going to end up in one of the cadets. So I just toddled off. I was walking around the grounds in all black, just like I do. And I went over to the fence line where we sat on the Friday, and I thought, I'll just stand here and pretend like I'm taking photos of the sunrise. Guys, there was no sunrise. Not a word of a lie. It was pitch black. Nothing was happening. I rang Mum in a panic, and I was like, I think I've just got into the grounds and no one's checked my tickets, nor am I supposed to be here. When all of a sudden this volunteer came up and she said, do you mind if I pop my mum and dad's seats next to you and you can just keep an eye on them? And I thought, yeah, but when are they going to get here? You know, like, I'm here early to get a good spot. I don't know about your parents. They could be like, I don't know, late risers or come on a bloody, I don't know, one of those Polaris motorbike things because they can't walk in the grounds. I don't know. So I said to this girl, yeah, all good. I'll monitor the chairs, whatever. And I said to her, what time does it open? And she goes, 7:30, and there's about 200 people at the gate, and the gates have been locked. And I was like, fuck, there you go. There's confirmation I shouldn't be in there. So I didn't unpack, you guys. I was standing around like a bloody idiot in the pitch black, waiting for 7:29. And I kid you not, I turned around at 7:29. I looked back at the gate, and this surge of about 300 people came flying at the fence line. And I saw all my friends. And I was like, shit, I've been here so early, I'm not moving because I'll lose my spot. So I actually sat with randoms again. I mean, is anyone even surprised? At the end of the day, I can sit with anyone. I don't care. I'll make friends. And that's exactly what happened. There was this young lad who was a worker from Auckland Airport who came down for the weekend by himself, stayed in Wanaka, and he had a suitcase and everything. So I just thought, this is all right. I'll sit next to old mate. He's all good. Young little spring chicken. And the team to my right were these people from Wanaka that were, I don't know, from Northern Europe somewhere. And they were just there to watch planes and just chill. And so I obviously was giving them a lot of information and facts. But I thought, shit, you know what? How much do I trust people right now? Could I leave my backpack and go to the toilet and get something to eat and not have anything stolen? So I contemplated it a wee while, and old mate to my left, the young lad from Auckland, he left his stuff, he left his phone. I don't know if he just thought I was going to look after him. He didn't say anything. So I just thought, I'm just going to chuck my backpack on my seat, chuck my wallet, my keys in my pocket, and go for a walk around and just, say good morning to you, all my pilots from on the Friday. Like I've made friends or something. But yeah, it was really cool because I went away and I got this weird bacon butty and a coffee. They'd actually run out of coffee cups, so they put it in a hot chip container. And the guy who served me looked like he was coming down off drugs, and he was hanging onto his elbows like he was surprised he had elbows. So I thought, oh my God, I didn't even see what he put in this coffee. This guy looks dangerous, and it's in a bloody chip cup. So there was that. But yeah, came back to my seat and all was well. And it wasn't until I cottoned on to the Christchurch Flight Spotters Facebook page that the F-16s had left Christchurch, and there was this big discussion about the fact that it takes 7 minutes from Christchurch to Wanaka in those planes. So I stood up and I was like, fuck, you know what's going to happen? They're going to creep up on us. We're not going to know. The commentaries aren't going to tell us anything, blah, blah, blah. Sure enough, people started standing up, and this guy behind me says, oh, I've got to keep an eye on you because if you stand up, that means something's coming because look at you. And I was like, I know, I'm like a excited little puppy. And it was exactly that. They crept up and didn't tell us, but it was phenomenal. The noise was just exactly what I needed to hear, just this whoosh of power. And that's when the kid next to me on my left, he cracked up laughing and started talking to me about how fantastic they were. They actually put on a really great performance. The jet itself came back towards the crowd and then hit the anchors and put the brakes on and just stood up and just, I don't know, like crawled along, standing up along the runway. And I just froze. I was in complete awe. I was just like, this, $63 million US plane is standing there on its back end, walking down this runway. I can only imagine the pilots waving at us. So here's me like waving frantically like a lunatic. But no, it was very special. And there was just so many really exciting concepts to it because obviously we had different air forces coming into the region, and people were coming on to talk about the planes, and it was lovely to meet people that matched my energy. And by the end of both Friday and Saturday, I had made friends in a half circle all around me. They understood that I was by myself. On the Friday, I had Mum with me, but I mean, she was just there to, be a watcher. She didn't want to contribute to any of the conversations or anything. But I don't know. I feel like everyone that talked to me took something away, and then everyone that contributed to what I needed to know, I took away. And it was just perfect. The matching of the energy and enthusiasm. Sometimes I think when I'm around different people, I've got to not be myself because it's awkward and weird. And then I think, no, hang on. There are actually people that enjoy this, that, and the other, and they want you to talk about it. So I didn't, the whole reason that people around me talked on Friday and Sunday wasn't because I screamed or cried or did all the crazy things that I would normally do around planes. They were just contributing to my conversations, and then lo and behold, different things happened and I got excited. At one point, I was looking up at this beautiful Globemaster who was doing a death pass where they just go really slow, hit the anchors, and this phenomenal noise happens. I wasn't wearing sunnies. I started crying. I don't know why this happens to me. And this guy turned around and he looked at me and I went, "Don't look at me, I'm not wearing sunnies." And he's like, "I'm crying too." You just can't make this shit up. You just can't. So, I was very impressed with the whole thing. Cup is definitely full. Planes have all left to go back to their establishments now. I think the F-16s left Christchurch at 11 a.m. this morning. The Globemaster left to go to Hawaii yesterday at 10 a.m. And yeah, we just have to wait 2 years to do it all over again. But that's okay because I am not going anywhere, and I will definitely do it again because now, all of a sudden, since I've been, people want to go with me again, but they also understand what the whole thing is. And I think it's not just about, being enthused about aircrafts or whatever. You actually can enjoy yourself with multiple different things. It was just weird. It was one of those things I've done this year that you didn't need alcohol. Not that you need alcohol for whatever else I've done, like festivals and concerts and stuff. But to look back, and there's nanas that are knitting and people with thermoses of coffee and people that have packed bacon, egg slice and stuff, as opposed to, stockpiling and smuggling in alcohol to this, that, and the other. It was just a different vibe. And, it's day 29 of no alcohol for me. So I was just sitting there like, wow, I've hit peak Nana about now, guys. Peak Nana. So, yeah, look, it was such a special time. And of course I wore sunblock, but of course it never matters because I still got sunburnt both days and I was more windburn. I don't know if that was from the planes themselves zipping past or actual wind itself, but I've got blisters on my lips. It's just a shit show. Visually a shit show. Anyway, it's all good. So yesterday, as part of the long weekend, I decided I was going to go to Queenstown, took Mum with me. I wanted to go and do a bit of retail shopping because obviously this whole 75 hard is contributing to some excessive weight loss at the moment. And I don't know if I told you, but when my friend Mel was here from Australia, we were doing a bit of retail therapy in Queenstown. And we entered this shop called Flo and Frankie. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Flo and Frankie. It's opposite the movie theatre in Queenstown Mall. So they have stunning dresses and jewellery. I tell you, this shop is an outfit in itself. You go in there, you can literally pick a dress, a belt, a hat, shoes. Can you buy shoes? I don't know. I can't remember. The jewellery, the fragrance even. The fragrance is at the counter. And I don't know, I'm still in the mindset that nothing will fit me. And it was funny because when I was talking to the girls back at the last week of February, I said, I'm going to do 75 hard and I will be back at the end of it and I will hopefully fit into something. I walked in yesterday with my mum and they recognised me. And one of the girls was like, "Oh my God, is it over?" I says, "No, it's not over. We're only just on 30 days in." But I was holding up a couple of the frocks and I was thinking, not long now, my sweets, not long now. I'm going to end up buying one of these dresses and they are expensive, good quality dresses. none of that junky Shein stuff that's, wear and dispose. But it's a little treat to myself, and I am actually turning that corner of self-love and treating. And actually this Friday alone, I have a beautician's appointment, which I'm like, what? If you knew me, you'd know that I don't go to beauticians. I barely even sit in a hairdresser's chair, so this is kind of a major deal for me. I am getting my eyelashes and eyebrows tinted with some other bits and pieces that I've just decided to splurge and buy for myself. I'm truly not sure if it's the fact that the digital marketing has taken off that I feel like financially I can put money into myself. Because normally when you have like just a normal income and then you go and splurge, it's like, could I have done that myself? Why am I doing this? I don't know. A few questions go through my mind. And I think for the first time in my life, I'm actually deciding that, I deserve all of this. And a few people have said, even though you're not spending any money on alcohol, are you still putting money that you would spend on alcohol aside? And honestly, I have not even thought about booze. So no, I'm not stockpiling cheap alcohol, and I'm not, putting money aside that you would, because, when people quit smoking and they put what they would normally spend on smokes into a different account to show how much you'd actually spend as a shock factor. For me, it's kind of one of those things where I haven't thought about it. So why would I need to save that money and look at it? So no, I'm not doing that at all, but it's just interesting because now I'm like looking at the luxurious things in my life and being like, how can I do this, this, and this? But also I know that, we're 6 weeks away from ending it, that the end is so exciting to me, more so than anything else. But I have lined up a whole bunch of things from now until the end to treat myself. And the haircut style thing that I'm doing, I'm not going to lie to you all, I am grey as all shit right now. Honestly, like I can't even deal. There's no photos being taken because it's just terrible. They say that, you have grey hair because of stress or whatever. You pull one out, you get 10 greys back or whatever. The shock factor and the actual haircut, style, colour, everything is going to be in itself amazing. Matched with the fact of like the wardrobe, and I'm, still rotating what I used to wear and what I should be wearing. I even went as far as using ChatGPT to do a colour analysis on my skin, hair and eyes to see if I was a winter, summer, autumn or spring palette, because I truly believe for many, many years I've been wearing the wrong colours that don't complement me. And yes, look, I get it. I do wear some things that people go, oh my God, that's stunning, it's beautiful, I have the best wardrobe, it's very expensive. But it could probably do 10 times over. It's not right. I should throw the whole thing out because it's not my palette. So just a little heads up, you can actually use ChatGPT to find your colour analysis, and all you have to do is ask it certain questions. I'm going to pop those questions in the actual information box for this podcast because I feel like it would really benefit you all, and I want to contribute to everyone having this great colour analysis done. I think it's really fun. Even my mum did it. There was no surprises there. But it was interesting because now that I've had it, I was walking around Flo and Frankie and I picked up this dress and Mum was like, shit, I've never seen you hold that colour before. I said, yeah, because I don't know why I haven't thought about wearing it, but it's part of my colour chart. So get ready. Shit's going to be fire. But yeah, honestly, we are in a bit of a crisis at the moment. Walking around yesterday, I thought the elastic had gone in my undies. They are now too big. It's like a thing I looked into. There is nothing wrong with my undies. They are simply too big. So that if that doesn't tell you about the weight loss that's happened, I don't know what will. And it's weird because me and Mum went to a dinner thingy last night. It was super cool, and I'll tell you as a bit of a story, but I ate something that I hadn't eaten for a long time. Obviously, I'm trying to keep the protein as like a big thing in my meal plan, and I talked to my trainer about how we can make this dinner thing last night. part of the meal plan, and I got it all right. Everything was fine, but I just think a couple of the sauces might have been a little bit off and they had a bit more sugar than I'm used to or whatever. Anyway, after dinner, we decided to go to Pack and Save, and I'm walking around with my brother we're doing a couple of things for my brother to get some shopping. And I started feeling a bit crook. And I was like, oh, shit, you know what? I don't think it's that I feel so good from dinner, which was something super basic. It was just the sauces. And I said, oh, hold on to my shopping. I'm just going to go to the toilet. And the weirdest thing happened, honestly, Pack and Save Queenstown, you need to have like a camera in that freaking foyer of the toilets to Pack and Save. It's weird as shit. There was like a lineup, and I'm thinking, oh my God, don't trust a fart right now. I don't know what's going to happen. The toilet door flung open and this guy came out, and I noticed the toilet was all clean. This other guy in front of me went into that toilet. It was all cool. Then he comes out and there's a rubber glove sticking out of the feminine hygiene bucket thingy, and I thought, oh, the bin. And I thought, that wasn't there before. And there was like an FPOS card and some sugar sachets on the ground of the toilet. I was like, that wasn't there before, because I would have said something about that, like, oh, you've left your FPOS card. And I went in and I thought, I can't, I don't know what's going to happen. I just need to sit on the toilet for a second and chuck a wee. So I did. Nothing happened. It was just, I felt a bit funny, which I hadn't felt for a long time. And as soon as I opened the door to leave the toilet, this guy went, oh, sorry, I've forgotten something. And I said, yeah, is it the sugar sachets and the FPOS card? And I was like, I'm just about to say, what did you use the rubber gloves for, bro? And I didn't, but I saw him two more times walking around Pack and Save, and I was like, oh, I have absolutely no idea, you guys, what he was using in there. No idea. Supermarket toilets for you. Anyway, I managed to get home, and that was the main thing. But yeah, so I actually lose my trainer in the next, 2 weeks. I've got 2 more sessions with her. It's a little bittersweet, but I knew that she was going to leave and do amazing things. She's off to Gold Coast, and so very excited for her. However, nothing's really going to change. I think I have learnt so much in the past 7 weeks that it's okay. And even now I still have a training plan, and we've got everything in sync, and, I understand what's in the training itself. I don't have to Google or YouTube what the hell she wants me to do. I think it's just the support and the general chit-chats about this and the other. So I don't know. I've got 3 more sessions in those 2 weeks with her, and hopefully we can just set this up so that the month after that she leaves is the month before I go away. And we still get some real hectic results because, well, nothing's changed so far. Everything's just, like, I've been so consistent that the weight loss has just been going straight down. And I just feel like it's just working for me. And I want to show her that even though she's not here, we can still keep this momentum. And even though she's moving to Australia, when I come back from Honolulu, Hawaii, I'm going to go and see her and give her a massive hug because, yeah, it's going to be a great success for the both of us. I am still an athlete in her eyes, and she got me from a really miserable, unmotivated place, and I owe everything to what we've achieved. I know it's myself, like I'm just like, I did this, but she really kept the ball rolling, and that was really important for my whole situation. When it comes to the digital stuff, I'll just touch on that quickly. I have purchased this course, which I honestly was having a mental breakdown over. I don't know, when you find that you want to talk about something and you have to find a niche, like what's something that you feel confident in or you want to talk about and you don't want to overwhelm people with weird terms and complex meanings to different things. Niches are difficult, and it's a weird word because, niche markets could be anything from health and fitness and pets. Pets are a really big thing because obviously everyone loves pets. But the other night, it was the last day of March, and I was up late as per usual. I totally cannot sleep these days. It's not like, I don't know. I feel like my heart has just got this new, lifestyle and just doesn't want to stop and relax. I just have to keep moving and keep busy and doing things. So I'm not sleeping too much at the moment, to the point where the other night Mum actually came in and she thought that I'd fallen asleep with the lamp on. And she was like, Jesus, Dani, why are you still awake? I said, I don't know. So anyway, I was Googling, I was hanging around on the internet just looking at niches and what people are interested in and how I can best get this digital marketing thing aligned. And this course caught my eye and I was like, holy shit balls. I don't know. I didn't even worry too much. I just brought the course and I sat there and I just had this big smile on my face and I was like, yes, everything makes sense and I'm super excited to introduce it to everyone. However, I am going to do the course and it's interesting because the past 3 courses that I've done have enabled me to learn how to digitally market everything from my podcast, Tom's Truck, just the usual stuff that I've talked to you all about before. However, this one is kind of all about me and it's all the things that I need to have better understanding about. Is it about body and stuff? A little bit, but it made me smile and I sat up like a meerkat in bed and I was like, oh my God, that is just the perfect thing for me. And so let's see what happens, but let's just say that I'm really positive and looking forward to getting this out to seeing if anyone else wants help with this type of stuff. But yeah, I'll let you know more when I start deep diving on it. I have not had a minute to even open it. Oh, I just got really excited again. God damn it. I'll be like asleep by Thursday at this rate. But no. So a little bit of excitement in Dani's life at the moment was just finding something that just clicked. It just fit. And yeah, we are just climbing up that self-love ladder. And I want to take you all on that adventure with me because even though you might have listened to this pod about aeroplanes and you know that that's really important to me and I have such a love for aviation, thank you for tuning in because as always, I don't know, you guys are the ones that keep the podcast going and helping along the way and answering my weird questions that I put up on social media. But I will pop off now and go and produce this to pop it out to you before this evening and start this course because I want to be informed before I start talking about it. I don't want to be like that weird person that knows nothing and just gets overwhelmed with stupid questions that I need to know the answers to because nothing's stupid. I just sometimes think, oh my gosh, how can that get answered better? You know. So anyway, I'll leave you with everything and thank you so much for listening. I will end on a little flight quote I found that maybe made me laugh. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the aeroplane takes off against the wind, not with it. It's exactly me in my life. I feel like sometimes I've got a fair few things in front of me that I don't know how to navigate, but I always get it done, right? Anyway, talk to you again in a week. Take care, everyone. Bye.